Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's not just reshaping our financial world, but our entire future: sustainable finance. You might have heard terms like ESG, impact investing, or green bonds, but what do they actually mean? And more importantly, how can they help us build a better, more resilient world while still being smart with our money? Let's break it all down. For a long time, the world of finance was seen as separate from social and environmental issues. The main goal was simple: maximize profit. But in recent years, a massive shift has been happening. Investors, companies, and even regular people like us are realizing that financial success and a healthy planet are not mutually exclusive. In fact, they're deeply connected. This is the core idea of sustainable finance. It's about making investment decisions that consider environmental, social, and governance factors, or ESG for short. So, what does ESG actually cover? Let's start with the E for environmental. This looks at a company's impact on the natural world. Are they working to reduce their carbon footprint? How do they manage their waste and water usage? Are they investing in renewable energy? Companies that prioritize environmental stewardship are often more efficient and better prepared for future climate-related risks, which makes them a more stable long-term investment. Next up is S for social. This is all about people. How does a company treat its employees? Does it promote diversity and inclusion? What about its relationship with the local communities where it operates? Does it ensure fair labor practices throughout its entire supply chain? A company with a strong social conscience often has higher employee morale, better customer loyalty, and a stronger brand reputation. These are all things that contribute to its bottom line. And finally, we have G for governance. This refers to how a company is run. Is the leadership transparent and accountable? Are there checks and balances to prevent corruption? How are executive salaries decided? Good governance is the bedrock of a well-run company. It ensures that the business is managed ethically and in the best interests of all its stakeholders, not just a select few. Strong governance reduces the risk of scandals and legal troubles that can decimate a company's value overnight. Now that we understand the ESG framework, let's talk about some of the key trends driving the sustainable finance revolution. The first major trend is the sheer growth of the market. We're talking trillions of dollars pouring into sustainable investments. This isn't a niche market anymore, it's going mainstream. Major banks, pension funds, and asset managers are all integrating ESG criteria into their decision-making processes. Why? Because the data is showing that companies with strong ESG performance often outperform their peers financially over the long run. It's what we call the double bottom line: doing good for the world while also doing well for your wallet. Another huge trend is the rise of green bonds and social bonds. Think of these like regular bonds, but the money raised is specifically earmarked for projects with positive environmental or social impacts. For example, a green bond might fund the construction of a wind farm or a solar energy project. A social bond might finance affordable housing or access to education in underserved communities. This provides a direct and transparent way for investors to channel their capital towards projects they believe in. We're also seeing a surge in shareholder activism. Investors are no longer passive bystanders. They are using their power as owners of a company to demand greater transparency and better ESG performance. They're voting on resolutions at annual meetings, engaging directly with management, and pushing for real, measurable change. This puts pressure on companies to take their environmental and social responsibilities seriously. So, how can you, as an individual, get involved in sustainable finance? It's actually more accessible than you might think. One of the easiest ways is to invest in sustainable ETFs, or exchange-traded funds, and mutual funds. These funds bundle together stocks from companies that meet specific ESG criteria. You can find funds that focus on clean energy, gender equality, or overall ESG leaders. It's a great way to diversify your portfolio while aligning your investments with your values. Another strategy is called impact investing. This is a bit more hands-on. Impact investors actively seek out companies, organizations, and funds with the intention of generating a measurable, beneficial social or environmental impact alongside a financial return. This could mean investing in a startup that is developing a new water purification technology or a social enterprise that provides job training for marginalized groups. The goal here is very explicit: to make a direct and positive difference. You can also make a difference with your everyday banking. More and more banks are now offering green savings accounts or credit cards that donate a portion of their profits to environmental causes. By choosing to bank with institutions that have strong sustainability commitments, you're sending a clear message to the financial industry about what you value. Your choice of where to put your money, even in a simple savings account, has power. Of course, it's not all smooth sailing. There are challenges. One of the biggest is the lack of standardized data and reporting. It can sometimes be difficult to compare the ESG performance of different companies because they might measure and report things differently. This is an area where regulators and industry bodies are working hard to create more uniform standards, a process often called tackling greenwashing. Greenwashing is when a company presents a misleadingly positive image of its environmental practices, and clear standards are the best defense against it. Another challenge is simply education and awareness. Many people still believe they have to sacrifice financial returns to invest sustainably. But, as we've discussed, a growing body of evidence suggests the opposite. Sustainable companies are often more innovative, more resilient, and better managed, making them attractive long-term investments. Spreading this knowledge is key to accelerating the transition to a more sustainable financial system. Looking ahead, the future of sustainable finance is incredibly exciting. We're going to see technology like AI and big data play a huge role in improving ESG analysis. Imagine being able to get real-time, satellite-verified data on a company's deforestation rates or water pollution levels. This level of transparency will be a game changer. We'll also see a deeper integration of sustainability into all areas of finance, from personal loans and mortgages to complex derivatives. The idea of considering ESG factors will become so standard that it won't even be called sustainable finance anymore. It will just be finance. Building a sustainable future is a collective effort, and the financial world has a massive role to play. By directing capital towards solutions for our biggest challenges, like climate change and social inequality, we can create a world that is not only more prosperous, but also more just and equitable for everyone. And each of us, through our own financial choices, can be a part of that incredible transformation. So, what are your thoughts? Are you already investing with sustainability in mind? What trends are you most excited about? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And consider subscribing for more content on how we can build a better future together. See you in the next one.